Okay, I'd like to invite Andrew to come forward from Radical Homes. Let's give him a giant hand. All right, Andrew. Welcome. Are you ready for this?
No.
You're not ready. Okay,
No.
good. That's a great answer. Okay.
Imagine having to rebuild your home every 5 to 6 years because it collapsed. That is a present reality where I live. Hello, angels. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Andrew Gonzalez, and I am the steward and chief optimist at Radical Homes. Let me tell you about the perfect life that I used to have. I grew up as a missionary kid in the northern mountains of Mexico. Scratch that, I actually never grew up. I was chasing adrenaline, getting into a lot of trouble. I even got deported out of Mexico with my own credit card. I was sleeping my way through college in Tennessee, and to pay for this expensive college, I became a commercial salmon fisherman in Alaska. My winters I spent spearfishing in the Bahamas and on mission trips on a whim. I bought a house right after the housing market crashed, and I built a pond on it. I made a jungle. Then I met Ashley in the Knoxville airport. 14 days later, I proposed in an abandoned coal mine.
Come on now.
She said yes, so I didn't have to leave her there. We got married on a glacier that required a helicopter, a power drill, and 600 Colombian red roses. We even had a ring bearer. My life was perfect and wild, but then God convicted me about a calling that he'd given me 10 years ago. You can go to Nineveh on a plane ticket on your own, or you can go there in the belly of a fish. We sold our home, our rental property, our business, our cars, and we moved to Mozambique in 2018. Then an Islamic war broke out. Villages were burned and 1 million people were displaced. In one of these refugee villages, I found 2 beautiful girls. They became my daughters. My biological son was born in Mozambique, and we fostered 3 other children. We were in Mozambique. Now we had 7 children, and we were responsible for them. But I became focused on one of the biggest problems that the Makua tribe was facing. They're a semi-nomadic tribe that continues to build the traditional method of bamboo, mud, and thatch roof. So when the Islamic terrorists came along, they would burn a village, everything would get destroyed. We started building with a radical solution. Bulletproof, fireproof, termite-proof homes built with unskilled labor. They cannot burn your house down if your house is indestructible. It's a concrete foundation with a bamboo structure on top, covered with mosquito net, chicken wire, rebar, and layers of concrete. We've built about 10 homes so far, and each home costs approximately $3,800. When a cyclone hit this January, it destroyed over 6,000 homes in the coastline. Our homes stood strong. After the cyclone, the government officials and NGOs came to visit our village. They asked us to replicate our success in the destroyed villages. I quoted them about $4,000 per home. However, our 3.5-month construction time was too slow for them. They wanted mass production with proper equipment. That's why I'm here. With airforms, scaffolding, a shotcrete gun, we could pour a foundation, inflate an airform, shoot the concrete, and by training 20 workers, we could build 3 homes in 3 weeks simultaneously, cutting labor by 70 to 80%. This would be a massive efficiency leap. Right now, angels, I'm asking for $100,000 for 49% of ownership in this new project. The Mozambican government has allocated $20 million US. That's enough to build about 3 houses in California, or 5,700 radical homes. My family has invested 7 years of our lives and 120,000 of our savings into this. We faced hardships that nearly broke us. Our percentage of the profits will help build our family a permanent home in Mozambique to keep us rooted there permanently. So angels, invest with us, change lives, and build forever homes. We believe in a hand up. We do not believe in a handout. Isaiah said, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." I'm here for knowledge. God has called us to Mozambique. We don't know what the future holds. We have a path to sustainability, and we'd like to share that with you if you gave us the opportunity. Please Partner with us and help us change lives in northern Mozambique.
Let's give him a hand. Well done, Andrew. That was great. You want the click? Now, that was extremely well done, and I love the chief optimist. I'm stealing that. Is that original with you?
I also put first to be blamed, but they told me that wasn't professional. So
Yeah, not sufficiently professional. Okay, you ready for the cross-examination?
Yes, sir.
I'm sure they've got some questions. Go ahead, fellas.
I have a question. So the cost of the house is about $3,800,
Yes, sir.
and you're selling them for around $4,000.
Yes, sir.
So that's a profit of around $200.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And honestly, what could you sell these for? Potentially with the government contract, etc.
There was another company that built, they moved an entire village because they were buying property there, and they built houses for about $27,000.
Okay. Now you seem like someone with a giant heart, and you want to do good. Would you consider charging more, and whatever profit you made, a percentage of those could go back into the ministry?
So if we were to get this new equipment, we could lower the cost to about $2,200 to $2,400 per home, because most of my costs are going to be in labor. So if my guys are only working for 1 week as opposed to 3.5 months, then I can cut the cost of labor. And technically the $4,000 would still give me 45% return on the investment.
Just to be clear then, so you're at this point kind of unwilling to increase the cost of the home.
Oh, no, most definitely. I mean, that's why I'm here. I'm here for wisdom. And what I'm basing that price is what it costs for it to be built. I'm not making any money off of that, but my guys are being employed for 3.5 months.
You would consider that.
If the government pays me $20,000, I'll say yes, sir.
Is the government the only taker for the home?
No, I was also, I'm not allowed to name the NGO that approached me because they asked to remain anonymous.
I hope
But they
they're not
asked me,
funded by
they said,
USAID.
they said, how fast can you build 500 homes? They said, how fast can you build 500 homes? And I said, with a crew of 100, it's going to take years. And they said, we want it done in months.
So what if you can't do it in months? Will they go with somebody else?
There's nobody else. I mean, who else? They're going to build with cinder block. And right now they're distributing USAID tarps in Mozambique, the tarps that they had in a warehouse somewhere. So, I mean, I'm sure they can build something else, but the next hurricane that comes along is just going to destroy whatever it is that they build.
So you're saying you're basically the only game in town.
I am 100% confident that I'm the only one that's in Mozambique building cyclone-proof, bulletproof, termite-proof homes.
If the government didn't buy your homes for one reason or another, do you have a market outside the government?
We have sold some homes to a different type of home using compressed soil bricks, and we sold a home to the manager of a bank, and my profit for the selling the bricks was $1,400 on that sale, and then my guys were employed on their own for approximately 4 months.
Would any of the NGOs be potential customers?
Yes, but one of the things about Mozambique is that I think 3% or 4% of any company that's making profit in Mozambique has to invest that money into humanitarian companies in Mozambique. So technically, a Ruby company could hire us to build homes for somebody.
Who does the title stay with?
We build in the property of the owner. We don't buy properties. We don't do anything. Somebody shows us a piece of document, a piece of paper that says they own the piece of land, and we will build on that land.
The availability of labor for you to continue to build these homes, and if you're able to ramp it up are you able to get sufficient labor in order to provide like that contract that would like to have you build 500 homes?
I have 17 guys right now, and I absolutely love these guys. They're so hard. They're hard workers. Those 17 guys could train a crew of 90 right now. I would put 3 or 4 of them in each crew, and we could train a crew of 90.
I think one of the hurdles out of the gate is and I don't know how much you know about the government contract, but would they fulfill their commitment? Do you suspect there would be would they consider a prepay arrangement or?
In Mozambique and all of Africa, we say TIA. This is Africa. And so ideally, we want to get 50% up front. And if we're making the costs, if we're building the houses at cost, 50% up front will leave us neutral.
All right, that was amazing. Andrew, just stay here for a moment. I want to say publicly, and I know that I am speaking for everybody in here, this is an inspiring story. And what makes it even more inspiring is that when you were just backstage, I said, "Are you ready?" And you said what? You said no. Exactly right. Brother, this is beautiful, and we love your heart. We love this presentation, and thank you so much for coming. It has been already worth coming tonight. Wouldn't you say amen? Thank you so much, Andrew.
Thank you all.
The first winner that we will announce, Dr. Soto, if you will join us here, is our Audience Choice winner. And that is Radical Homes.